Welcome everybody to the RiverWoods Exeter Online Lunch and Learn. My name is Lisa Clark and I'm joined by Diane Smith. And in this next hour, we're going to give you a pretty comprehensive overview of RiverWoods Exeter and allow time for questions at the end as well. Just a little bit of housekeeping, always good to kind of mute your phone so you're not distracted. Get familiar with the how to submit a question to us, which will be in the Q&A box that is in the menu bar for Zoom. You can type your questions in there, and at the in the last 20 minutes or so of this presentation, we will answer your questions. You are looking at a beautiful scene, seasonal scene, summer scene from the seacoast area of New Hampshire along our 18 miles of coastline. These are some of our residents enjoying a picnic in Rye Harbor here in New Hampshire. A little bit of introductions for us. My name is Lisa Clark. I'm sales manager here for RiverWoods Exeter. I am joined by Diane Smith, who's one of our senior living sales counselors. She will be co-presenting with me today. And then Dan Witham, who is also a sales counselor. All of you on the webinar today have been assigned to one of the three of us, and it's our role to really help educate you on RiverWoods Exeter so that you can make the decision whether or not it's the right fit for you. A little bit about RiverWoods Exeter. We were founded in 1994, actually, is when we opened our first campus here in the Exeter community. Subsequent to that, we opened 2 more campuses here in Exeter. And we'll talk a little bit more about those and the differences between these 3 campuses. In 2016, we acquired another community then known as Birch Hill. And they had been around for a while, since the early 90s. We spent 5 years upgrading that property before actually naming them or renaming them as RiverWoods Manchester back in 2021. In 2019, we opened RiverWoods Durham, beautiful new community located out in Durham, New Hampshire. And these 3 communities, Exeter, Manchester, and Durham, are all continuing care retirement communities. We all offer the spectrum of living arrangements, starting with independent living and then supporting needs for assisted living, memory care, and nursing. We have a 4th box there labeled as someplace else. We don't have any plans just yet, but we are always looking for ways in which we can continue to expand how we serve the growing aging population within our country. We are all supported by the RiverWoods Group, which is a nonprofit 501c3 corporation. And that organization is based here in Exeter and provides both strategic overview as well as some shared service functions like finance and accounting, human resources, and marketing. A little bit about how we started. We were started by 2 visionary women back in the 80s, the 1980s, who were really seeing that there was a gap in senior living options within the seacoast area. So these 2 women are Rosemary Coffin and Mariana Hatch, and they got together and really came up with the idea, as well as led the planning and the developing for what is now known as the RiverWoods Company. And the goal of these 2 ladies, and continues to be the goal today, is really to be a leader in providing a great option for the growing number of seniors seeking community and peace of mind. And that's really what we're focused on, is as you age, providing you with that peace of mind of knowing that you will be well cared for, regardless of what level of health care you might need. Spoke about this a little bit earlier. I'm going to go a little bit deeper into our 3 communities at RiverWoods Exeter. I mentioned the original campus, which opened in 1994, is known as the Woods Campus. We have 201 apartments here at the Woods Campus. Nice mix of anything from a studio to a 1-bedroom to a 2-bedroom apartment. It's a beautiful campus, very spread out, lots of light coming into our apartments, and surrounded by gorgeous woods. In 2004, we opened the Ridge campus, which consists of 81 apartments and 11 cottages around the perimeter. You'll find the apartments at the Ridge tend to get a little bit larger in size. So if you're somebody who's looking for a larger 2-bedroom apartment, the Ridge would be a great place to look. We just completed a renovation of all the common spaces within the Ridge campus. Every 15 years, we update our physical facilities to try to keep them current, design-wise, and looking fresh. And the Ridge is just at the tail end of completing that renovation and looking really beautiful. In 2010, we opened the Boulders. This campus consists of 75 apartments and 24 cottages around the perimeter. The Boulders, like the Ridge, tends to have the larger 2-bedroom apartments there, but we also do have some 1-bedroom apartments and 1-bedroom plus den at the Boulders as well. A little bit about our community, RiverWoods Exeter. We are really proud of the fact that we are accredited by an organization known as CARF. CARF International, which the acronym stands for the Commission for the Accreditation of Rehabilitation Facilities. Quite a mouthful. CARF is much easier to say. But they are an organization that accredits they're a nonprofit accreditor of health and human services worldwide. So we are accredited as a continuing care retirement community, and only about 10% of CCRCs are accredited by CARF. So as you're doing your homework, if you're looking around at different communities, that might be something you want to explore as to whether the communities that you are considering are accredited. It's a fairly rigorous process to become accredited, but it really is a great indicator of the quality of the organization and the facility that you might be making a decision to live in for the rest of your life. RiverWoods Exeter was one of the earliest organizations or CCRCs to become accredited by CARF. And in 2019, we got a renewal for another 5 years. And at that time, based on the other metrics that they evaluate on CCRCs, we were deemed to be in the top 3% of communities nationally by CARF. I've provided the website here if you want to go check out www.carf.org. You can learn more about that organization. The gentleman on the left side of your screen who's smiling is Jerry. Jerry is one of our residents at the Woods campus, masterful woodworker. He makes paddles such as this and spends a lot of time in the wood shop at the Woods campus. I want to talk a little bit about life care. Some of you may have done a lot of research and learning, while others of you on today's webinar may just be at the beginning of that process. So we like to cover some of the fundamentals about what a continuing care retirement community provides. You will hear the term life care used interchangeably with continuing care retirement community. And what this boils down to is really a community that will provide you with long-term care, but you will enter it living independently. So we are actually a long-term care insurance product, and you pay an entry fee when you come and live here, and 90% of that entry fee is refunded back to your estate when you either move out or pass away. So it's a nice way to preserve your assets within your estate and have something to hand down to your heirs. If you do not have heirs or are less concerned about that, we do have some other contract types that are also used, but the majority of our residents choose a 90% refundable entry fee. Once you've paid your entry fee, you will then pay monthly fees to live here. And Diane and I are going to talk about what those monthly service fees cover. But the main thing they cover is care for the rest of your life. And that would be care at any level, ranging from independent living up to nursing care. The type of contracts that we provide are called a Type A CCRC contract. And what that type of contract provides is unlimited access to assisted living and nursing care for the rest of your life. And you pay the same fee to us, whether you're living independently or whether you're living in assisted living, memory care, or nursing. The nice thing about a Type A contract is that you have predictable monthly fees. You don't have to worry about paying more when or if you need a higher level of health care. And you're looking at one of our residents, Pam, on the right with her puppy. So let's talk a little bit about healthcare resources. When you first come here, of course, you're living independently. You're not thinking too much about healthcare, but you can have peace of mind knowing that we will take great care of you through the balance of your life as your needs may change. While you are living independently with us, we will provide some healthcare to you through our wellness clinics. So we have a wellness clinic in each of our 3 campuses that serves solely the independent residents. It's staffed by a nurse practitioner and several other nursing professionals. And they are there to help you with any sort of minor things that may happen, be a first line of defense before you might go see your primary care physician. Beyond that, we do offer assisted living apartments for both singles and couples. We currently have 71 apartments here in the Exeter campus. And then we also have 78 private rooms providing both memory support and nursing care. You might find yourselves kind of going in, even though you enter as an independent resident, you may have events that occur that result in hospitalization or a scheduled surgery. And you can rest assured knowing that you can do all of your rehabilitation at the RiverWoods Exeter Healthcare Center here in our community. We also can provide respite care for the healthy partner. And our medical facility is overseen by our director, Dr. Timothy Keenan, who is affiliated with Core Physicians here in Exeter. Most of these services that you receive here will be covered by your monthly service fee. If you are receiving actual medical services, those would be billed to Medicare. Your monthly service fee, besides covering your health care, includes a lot more than that. You will have access to our dining program, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. You will have access to all 3 of our fitness centers and our indoor pools at each campus. We run about 60 classes a week, and Diane's going to talk a little bit more about fitness in a moment. You'll have access to any of our entertainment and cultural opportunities that we offer here on campus as well as off campus. We have a whole fleet of transportation and drivers that you'll have access to included in your monthly service fee. So whether it's getting to a doctor's appointment or taking a trip to the grocery, we will be providing that covered by your monthly service fee. We provide housekeeping services. We will come in and clean your home every other week, as well as provide a weekly flat linen service where we launder your bed linens and your bath towels on a weekly basis. We cover all the maintenance, interior and exterior, to your home. If anything breaks, we take care of it. And your monthly service fee also includes your utilities. So your Your heat, your air conditioning, your electricity, your water is all included within that monthly service fee. We talked about wellness clinics earlier. That is included in your monthly service fee. And then we also provide 24-hour security, and we have an emergency response system that's built into all of our residences here at RiverWoods. A little bit about dining. We changed within the past year our dining plan. We used to offer 1 meal a day, and in finding that incoming residents were preferring to eat a little bit differently, more grazers than wanting to sit down for a big heavy meal, we converted our dining program to a points-based program. So your monthly service fee includes a certain number of points per month, and you can use that towards prepared meals in our dining room, towards takeout meals from our cafe. It can be used towards guest meals. It can be used towards catering. If you wanted to entertain in your home, we could do catering for you. And then we have a marketplace where you can purchase grocery items, perishable grocery items, with your dining points. So it provides a lot of flexibility with how you choose to eat and how you want to use those points. We have 6 different restaurants across our 3 campuses. Regardless of what campus you live on, you can choose to eat at any of those restaurants. And many of you may have dietary restrictions or things that you're allergic to, or just a way that you prefer to eat, whether that be plant-based or keto, and we'll work with you on what your preferences and needs are. When you move in, we'll have you meet with the dining manager and make sure we can support what your needs are. We try to source as much as possible locally. Everything is made from scratch here by our chefs. And we like to try to buy provisions that are as close as possible to where they were grown or originated from. You're looking here at our dining room in our Boulders campus. Beautiful dining room. All of our dining rooms have lovely high ceilings, fireplaces, and lots of windows with light. And this is a place where we serve both lunch and dinner, as well as Sunday brunch. This is our cafe at the Woods campus. So this is where you could get takeout meals. And really for somebody who's kind of more on the go and not wanting to sit down and maybe engage socially or take the time to sit down, you can kind of grab and go a meal from the any of our 3 cafes. And this is our bistro at the Boulders campus. Similarly, kind of a grab and go sort of menu here. You'll see we also have a pizza oven there. So that's kind of a favorite destination for people from all 3 campuses, is to go to the Boulders bistro. All 3 of our campuses also have a country store that's really designed to provide convenience to our residents. We find that, you know, as residents age, their energy may decline and they may prefer to get things as local as possible versus going out to the store. So we provide a lot of staples in this grocery store, country store, and we also have some gift items at this particular one. You're looking at the country store in the Woods campus. This is all staffed by resident volunteers. They do the purchasing, they do the stocking, and it's a great convenience to our residents here. I'm going to turn it over to Diane now, who's going to talk a little bit more about what there is to do here at RiverWoods. And I will hand it off to you now, Diane.
Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. And thank you to everyone for taking the time today to get to know us a little bit. Here, if you're here in New Hampshire or not, we had our first little bit of snowfall, which was magical this morning to wake up to it. So you're looking at a picture of one of our residents with her dog. We are pet friendly, and in fact, we welcome your pets in our marketing office. We in fact have dog treats that we have in here. So it's a nice break for us to have some of our resident pets come in and say hello during the day. It gives us a break. So you're also looking at a wonderful part of our community where you can sit. We have lots of walking trails around our communities. And this is one of the benches that was probably made in our wood shop that our resident is sitting in and enjoying a little sun in the afternoon here at our campus. So, yeah, okay. So each one of our campuses has meeting space, and you're looking at the meeting space at the Boulders community. So each campus offers events throughout the year, throughout the week, and all kinds of events from community updates to entertainment to movies. And we often have different campuses host it. So if you're not living at the campus that's hosting it, we have a shuttle that will take you there and bring you back. The space, the Great Bay, Boulders Hall is the largest space of our 3 campuses, and that has a capacity of seating over 220 people. So we do a lot of our larger events there, and it's a nice opportunity for residents from other campuses to sort of mix and mingle and meet residents from each other's campus. So this is the Boulders Hall located at the Boulders campus. So our libraries are wonderful, wonderful, cozy little places to wake up and go. And we have all the newspapers in there. I recently had a conversation with a resident who said to me, you know, my wife was not sleeping. It was 2 o'clock in the morning and she was tossing and turning. And I said to her, would you like me to go and get you a book? And he went down to the library and got a book. And he said, this is such an advantage that I didn't have to go out and get in my car. I walked down the hall and got a book for her. So our libraries are wonderful. We have a budget for new books. We have large print. We have DVDs. We have the newspapers. So provided a wonderful warm respite during COVID. A great way to say hello or good morning to someone. Or in the afternoon. And we really take the books that you want to read seriously. We have a committee of residents that meet and we choose books each month and display them. So you can be sure that whether it's the library at the Woods or at the Ridge or the Boulders, you'll find a book that, that you will like. So libraries are terrific here. So it's easy to stay active, as all of us can say, as we get older, a little bit less energetic. It's a little bit hard to be motivated, particularly in these cold days, but we have wonderful fitness program, an innovative fitness director, and all levels of fitness. So this is a group of our ladies at one of our parks doing some Tai Chi. We're going to move on to look at some of the other ways that you can stay fit here. And there's a wide range of those. In fact, we have a resident committee called Lifestyle Matters. And that's a committee of residents that meet frequently to talk about, you know, our holistic approach to staying well, mind, body, and spirit. And it changes and grows all the time. So the one thing that in my long history of being here at RiverWoods is we take seriously your input, your feedback. We don't do things the same. Things continue to change. We had a group of residents that went off and did zip line, and that was very different, I'm sure, than it was when we opened up in 1994. So you're looking at a pool at the Boulders campus. So our pools are wonderful. We have one in each campus. They're about 80 something degrees. We have a hot tub, locker rooms, so never real crowded. And you can go in at 2 o'clock in the morning, 5 a.m. or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So they're accessible to you anytime. We have a wonderful pool volleyball over at the Ridge campus, and they host it, which is kind of nice. So our residents here go over there and connect with residents from the other two campuses and play volleyball. And that has been very, very successful and very popular. So we try to mix things up as much as possible just to keep you healthy and keep you active. So we have a fitness room in each campus. So on the days that it is snowy or icy or you're not motivated to go right outside, we have all the equipment that you could possibly want. We have treadmills, we have rowing machines, we have bikes. And so we have free weights. So you feel free again to go down to one of our fitness rooms anytime and get that 30-minute workout in before you start your day or in the middle of the day. So available to you anytime. So pickleball, as many of you might know, has become very, very popular. We started with one pickleball court, and there was a wait to play. So we added another court. So we have 2 pickleball courts, and really fun way to stay active, have fun, laugh, and again, stay healthy. So another new addition to our RiverWoods fitness program. So another example of how we take your feedback seriously and do what we can to honor that, to fulfill your requests. In addition to fitness and aerobic and cardio programs, we also have a lot of creative space here. I often say by divine intervention, one of our founders' husband was head of the art department at UNH. We have an incredible group of artists here, all mediums. You saw Lisa pointed out one of the gentlemen who moved in a few years ago who does an incredible, in our woodworking, makes paddles that are incredible. They do some serious things in our woodworking shop, make tables, make shelves, make the signs for our trails, make some benches for our trails. They take orders from other residents. So really very experienced craftsmen in our woodworking shop. You're looking at a resident who is now in one of our painting studios who hadn't painted in years and came here and jumped into one of our painting classes. And I think there isn't a day that I go by the studio that I don't see him in there painting. So again, you're going to perhaps tap into some resource or some creative talent that has been dormant over the years and re-energize it and tap into that when you're here. We have a pottery studio over at the Ridge campus. You're looking here now at the art studio here at the Woods. And again, a lot of artists here and lots of different mediums. We have now an artist that comes in and teaches, I think, beginner acrylic painting. We have a local watercolor artist that teaches. You'll see in the left-hand corner, we have some baskets. If you're familiar with the famous Nantucket baskets, well, we have someone here that teaches people to weave them, and they are absolutely beautiful. They look identical to the Nantucket basket and, you know, a quarter of the price. So we host that here at the Woods campus and over at the Boulders. But you can see the space, it's bright, it's energetic, lots of windows, and just a nice place to go and create whatever you want. So you're looking at some of our woodworkers here. Again, the talent is incredible. I'm always just blown away with some of the things that they do. So the trails are done in our wood shop. You'll see Jerry with his paddles. John and Bob both do a lot of different creative things. They make furniture, repair chairs. So, and it's a very organized, it's a committee of residents, woodworkers, that have organized the wood shop. So everything is well organized. And so again, if you're a woodworker or inclined or just tapping into it, it's a great place to go and just meet some of our talented craftsmen here. Music is big here. We have a couple of different little musical groups. We have a women's barbershop quartet, and we have a little string group of women. We have a mixed band of instruments that residents get together and play. And they often play and practice and then go down to our nursing healthcare center and perform, which is really wonderful. The connections that people make while they're living independently, and some of their friends who have transitioned into healthcare, they continue to stay connected and go down and visit and perform. So 3 of our residents here, who are our string instrumentals, practice. We hear them practicing each week, and then perform and just have fun doing it with no expectation. And they're always asking us, please bring in more people that play instruments. So we welcome you. If you're a beginner or play an instrument, jump in with us. So another way that you can stay active and creative is gardens. We love our gardens. We have many gardens throughout all 3 campuses. We have raised garden beds. We were voted New Hampshire's largest arboretum with over 300 species of trees. And it's really very interesting. Each month we produce a reporter that comes out with different things that are going on as a communication of all that's going on in the community. And in that reporter, we highlight one of our trees, which has been such a wonderful thing, not only for employees to sort of stop and notice some of the trees. They're all labeled, but just see the beauty of nature. We're surrounded by so much nature here. We practice organic landscaping. Our landscapers are absolutely terrific. I cannot say enough about them. A dedicated team of landscapers. Not only do they manage all the landscaping here, mow the lawns, but when we have a snowstorm, they go out and clean off your car, so you never have to worry about cleaning off your car. Just never ending, smiling, guiding. In addition to our landscaping, we also have over at the Boulders campus, we inherited a couple of goats. It was a local farm that was shutting down, and one of our nurses adopted a couple of goats. So we have those over at the Boulders campus. And then we have a couple of employees that went to bee school, learning how to cultivate honey and make honey through bees. And in fact, they were successful, and we have sold some of their honey in our country store. So lots of ways, to tap into something that you might do. And we welcome new ideas. We want you to bring, your ideas to our community to make it even better. And we welcome those. So we're going to talk a little bit about the apartments and the cottages. Right now you're looking at the outside of one of the cottages at the Boulders campus. So our apartments and cottages are all fully equipped kitchens with all, state-of-the-art equipment and countertops, choices for countertops. They're all you control your heat and air conditioning. We're Wi-Fi enabled. One of the features of our apartments are the solariums, which I'll show you as we continue along and look at the apartments. We have outside storage space, sort of liken it to a large phone booth. So for things that you don't use on a regular basis, holiday, ornament trees, decorations, or any traveling equipment, you can put in your offsite storage area. We have 24-hour emergency response, and I always say that's just a major, major security blanket, because you know that no matter what happens, you can press a little button and someone will immediately respond and make sure that your needs are met. We have security systems, and we have guest rooms at all 3 campuses. So that's a nice opportunity for family members to come. We welcome them. They can join you in the dining room for a meal. and indoor and outdoor parking options. And we go over all of those, and specifically when you come in and visit us. So you're looking at one of our apartments here at the Woods, and this is a 1-bedroom. It happens to be a trillium. If you look at our website, all of our floor plans are there. And it's always amazing when I look at this. I think this is 941 square feet, but the space is amazing. And again, at the rear of this apartment, you see our solarium. This one happens to be in the first floor. So the apartments that are on the first floor do have access to the outside. So I often suggest to people, or we often suggest to people, if you have a pet, that's a nice thing to be on the first floor. And so that you can go out, have access to the outside at any time. You're looking at the flooring. We're doing luxury vinyl flooring now, which has been a very nice enhancement. And then I think the next picture is of the kitchen of this apartment, which again, you can kind of see the space. Our kitchens are open, and see some of the, the personalizations that people have done. Shows the countertops and our cabinets, and we have stainless steel appliances. So just enough space, and for what you need when you come here. So this is a sample of one of our kitchens. This is again one of the larger apartments at the Ridge campus. This is called a Magnolia, and again you can kind of see the space. The solarium, which is ample for a nice sitting area, open kitchen, the luxury vinyl flooring, and very much personalized. It's a home. It's really a lovely, lovely home. Lots of windows, lots of light. This is another view of that same apartment, so you can see the openness of the kitchen. And you really can see how much furniture you can bring in without it looking too close together. So the dining room table, open kitchen, and again, cabinets and refrigerator, all the appliances. This is another apartment. This is an apartment over at the Boulders campus. This is a Cypress. And again, to the rear, you see the solarium and an open kitchen, and just another way that they have created their space, which feels good for them. So it's fun to see how people take some of their favorite pieces. Most come from very large homes, but they take some of their favorite pieces and surround themselves with those pieces when they come here. Another picture of our solarium. So again, you can see the scope of space that it provides. 2 people and 2 comfy chairs, a dog. This one happens to be in the first floor, so she has a door to the outside, a piece of furniture. So lovely, lovely extensions of our living rooms. And people love, really enjoy and make good use of our solariums. This is a kitchen in one of our cottages. Again, just looking at some of the standard features that we use. This has a window in the kitchen, so lots of space for cooking if you choose to continue cooking. And the luxury vinyl flooring in different colors, different countertop. They chose gray cabinets, so you can see how you can make it your own space. So our location, we love to talk about, where we're located. For those of you that are not local, we are a couple miles. You're looking at the back of downtown Exeter, which is a lovely downtown, mostly individually owned stores, some lovely restaurants, 200 acres near the Exeter River. So it's fun in the spring to see the Phillips Exeter students doing rowing. Great place to walk. They have a wonderful farmers market in the spring and summer. Accessible to Portsmouth, to Manchester, Portland, and Boston. We have a local train station, which will take you down into Boston. Portsmouth has a wonderful bus service if you'd like to travel door to door to the airport. Our mountains, our lakes, our ocean, we have 18 miles of ocean. So I often say to people when you're looking, and particularly there are some people that are think there's someone from Oregon and someone from Chicago. So when you're thinking about coming here, you want to look at what this area offers to you beyond Riverwoods. I often suggest to people to subscribe to Seacoast Online and just look at what it offers, and kind of write down what your interests are now and what you'd like to explore in your new chapter, and see if they align. It's very important that you love the area that you're coming to, particularly if you're not local. We think it's just wonderful. No traffic jams, easy to get around. It's a wonderful New England downtown. The influence of the Academy, which is just great. They have some wonderful trails. They offer some great free concerts that we go to. So really do a little bit of digging to find out what's offered beyond our community. New Hampshire advantages, tax advantages, so that no general sales tax, so that's kind of nice. No personal income tax, no capital gains tax, top ranked New England state, and we're kind of nervous because people are listing New Hampshire as a top state for retirement. We want to kind of keep it a little bit quiet. And the 5th lowest tax burden in the country. So that's not the reason you would come to Riverwoods, but it is an advantage. And we like to point it out to you when you're kind of doing your due diligence and looking at different campuses and deciding which one is for you. I'm going to turn it over now to Lisa, who's going to talk to you a little bit about this happy group and joining our wait list.
Great. Thank you, Diane. We have just a few more minutes of the presentation, and then we will entertain questions. So if you do have questions, you can type them into the Q&A box on your Zoom menu, and we will address them at the conclusion. You're looking here, as Diane said, at a very happy group of bocce players. We have bocce courts at 2 of our campuses. This is the group of players at the Woods campus. They do have a dress code to play bocce, and that dress code entails striped socks. They have a great time playing, and we also have horseshoes outside. So we like to definitely get people outside to have fun together. I'm going to talk a little bit about if you think you might be interested in getting onto the RiverWoods wait list, what that process is. We currently are estimating between 2 and 7 years, depending of wait time, depending upon the size of residents that you're interested in, as well as the campus. The way that you would get onto the list is you would complete our application, which is called a confidential data profile. That determines your financial qualification. And once we have qualified you, you would deposit 10% of the entry fee on the floor plan of your choice. We do keep a separate wait list for every one of our floor plans, which is more than 40 different floor plans. So you would deposit on the most costly of those floor plans, and then you could list multiple other options as well. Your deposit will earn 4% interest from the date you deposit it until the date you accept a residence from us. And if you decide that things have changed and you want to make other plans, your deposit is almost entirely refundable with the exception of $500. And rather than the 4% interest, you would earn whatever the current market interest rate is on your deposit. Our process is really flexible. We will ask you when you join the wait list how soon you think you would be interested in coming to live here. And then we start calling you during that window of what you indicate you might be interested in coming to live here within. But if you're not ready when we call you, then you just tell us you're not ready and we move on to the next person. There's no penalty for that. People hear about this. We have this 3 offers before you go to the bottom of the list. An offer is only when you come and actually look at the apartment. So it's a very flexible process. You can change what you're listed for in terms of styles of apartments over the course of time that you're on the list. And we just want to make sure that you're choosing something that works for you at whatever point in life you're at the time you come to live here. If you want to learn more, you can visit our website. You can request an information package from us if we haven't already sent you one. And you can then schedule a meeting with Diane or I or Dan, and then apply to join our wait list. So I'm really pleased with all of you that have joined today, because it is a great first step before coming to tour here. We find that people who do participate in these online lunch and learns find that when they do make a tour appointment, they enjoy it more, because they just feel like they've gotten a lot of their questions out of the way, and they feel better informed. So, so great job to all of you for making the time today to join this. We're going to entertain questions now. So I'm going to open up our Q&A box. And common question we get, which I think was one of the first ones that somebody submitted, was about long-term care insurance and how that works with what we are providing here at RiverWoods. So we are a long-term care insurance product. So it may be redundant of a long-term care policy if you have already purchased one, but you can still use those benefits here at RiverWoods. If you were to go into a higher level of healthcare, assisted living, or nursing, you can submit claims on your own policy and get reimbursed for the time that you're spending within our healthcare community. So that is possible to do. If you're paying more than a little for your annual premiums, you may decide that it makes sense to discontinue your policy, but it's all very individual to whatever your policy is and what your needs are. We do have somebody here on staff who can consult with you about your policy. We always recommend that residents retain their long-term care policies for the first year that they're living here, to make sure that they're happy here and get settled before they would make any changes to it.
So the next question is, can the first floor apartments have a patio outside? Most of our first floor apartments do have patios, and I know it is in the budget at our Ridge campus for next fiscal year to have patios on the first floor. So many of them do already have patios, so it's very likely if you get on the wait list when you come here and you request a first floor that you'll have a patio.
Question about the campuses, distance between our campuses. The Boulders and the Ridge are about 1/3 of a mile apart. They're connected by a sidewalk. The Woods campus, which is the original one, is actually across the road from them. From one campus to the furthest, from the Woods over to the Boulders, is probably about a mile. We do have people that walk that, but we also have shuttle buses that can take you from one campus to another.
So what if you're away for 6 months each year? So there isn't a different fee schedule, but we do provide you with a credit off of your monthly service fee. As Lisa mentioned earlier, our dining system now is on a point system. So you would perhaps reduce your points to the lowest amount of points, which would give you a credit for the amount of time that you are away. So not a different fee schedule, but a credit off of your monthly service fee for that time away.
If you live in a cottage, how do you get to the dining and recreation facilities in bad weather? You would either need to walk or drive. We do not provide transportation from the cottages to the main building. That you would need to provide your own transportation.
What happens if one's financial status changes during the wait time, especially if it's up to 7 years? Well, you may not be able to come here. I mean, we would reassess, you know, if you had some concerns, we would reassess it, but you really do need to, one of our qualifications when an offer is made is that you financially are approved. So it might just mean that you might need to reduce to a smaller unit, smaller size, different campus, but you do need to financially qualify when you actually are coming in.
And I might add, that's the great thing about the variety of residences we have here in Exeter. There is a very broad range of price points of both entry and monthly fees. So if you do find that your financial situation has changed, it's pretty likely we would be able to accommodate you with something by the time you're ready to move in, if you had qualified originally. How much time between an offer and moving in? Usually it's about 3 months, 3 to 4 months. The other question is, do most people sell their homes before coming here? Everybody's financial situation is different. Most people are needing to sell their homes so that they can pay that entry fee, because that entry fee is due when construction is complete on your apartment. But typically you'll have, typically not less than 60 days to do that, and really probably closer to 90 to 120 days.
Okay. So the next question is, missed the beginning, review. We didn't go over costs here. If you would like a packet, we will happy to mail a packet out to you, which provides the costs. Is there a warm weather co-campus? You can go to another state. No, we don't have another campus in another warm state. So we don't have that. How many points do you get for meals? Well, the largest number of points you get is 548 points per month, and that covers either lunch or dinner on one day. Or you can also use it for catering. In addition, we have a little marketplace in our cafe, so you can use the points to purchase some items, grocery items that you need. So, there's flexibility to the point system. We often put someone on the largest number of points when they move in, and then each quarter you have an opportunity to reduce it if you feel like that's too many points. I think really looking at the pictures you're asking to describe and compare the 3 campuses. The original campus is the largest. So we have 201 apartments here. So the Ridge is our middle child, which Lisa explained is going through a facelift. I mean, it was lovely before, but it was getting over 15 years old. So we knew we needed to change some things. So that's it's brand new. A lot of it is brand new. And the Boulders opened in 2010 and has a little different feel. Both the Ridge and the Boulders have cottages. So that's a difference between the two. So I think it's really, if there's an opportunity for you to come and visit, for you to really discern what appeals to you. And in terms of the lectures that we offer, all kinds of lectures. So again, if you come and visit, we can give you a calendar of some of the programs that we offer. We have over 500 residents here from so many interesting walks of life that are connected in so many different ways. In addition to our community life directors, we offer musical programs, we offer armchair traveler, we have guest speakers from UNH. We had all of the local members running for office come and speak to our residents. So there's a wide range of programs that we have here. We do have ping pong and pool.
Diane, I want to skip ahead to a couple of these others, because we may not be able to get to all these at a time, but I want to cover some that I consider kind of critical. So there's a question about, can someone be considered for admission if there are memory issues at the evaluation time? We do require an in-person health assessment before we can offer you a home here at RiverWoods. That health assessment is conducted by our nurse practitioner. So it takes about 45 minutes. And it's measuring your ability to live safely independently. So we do a mobility and balance evaluation to make sure that you are not a fall risk. And then we also do a cognitive assessment. If it is deemed there is kind of early signs of dementia, that would rule you out for admission as an independent living resident. So it is, again, about, can you live safely independently? If you are a couple and one of you is having cognitive issues or mobility issues, we will ask you the question, if your healthy partner were not here, would you be able to live alone? And that is often an indicator of whether that person will be able to be admitted to live independently here at RiverWoods. So if your spouse is managing your medications, anything like that would deem you unable to live independently here. There are a couple questions here about storage. Do you want to answer those, Diane, about bicycles, kayaks, garages?
We do have enclosed garages. We also have carports. There's an additional fee for those. And we also have areas that you can store your bikes and kayaks. So yes, we have the ability to store your recreational equipment.
Question here about how do people get around if they don't have a car? Well, most of our residents eventually stop driving. So we do have a transportation team ranging from sedans all the way up to buses. We take 2 trips a week to the groceries and banks. So you can get your grocery shopping and your banking done. We also will take you to physician appointments within a 25-mile range. So you don't have to worry about getting to the doctor. We can get you to the bus station, the train station. So there's lots of different options to provide transportation to you if you have stopped driving or you never drove to begin with. We can get you around.
So what is the average age that folks come to RiverWoods initially? We're saying right now, people are getting on their wait list in their late 60s and early 70s. People are moving in typically in their late 70s to early 80s. So the average age here is early 80s. So that's kind of what the trend is right now.
Couple other questions that are related to the cost of living here. Question about the percentage increase in monthly service fees. Our average price increase over the last 15 or so years has been about 3% annually. The last year was an exception to that in 2022. We're on a fiscal year that starts in July 1st. We actually raised our fees by 6% this year. That was in large part due to the fact that we raised our minimum wage, which affected about 2/3 of our employees. That wage increase was worth about 5% of that 6% increase. There is no guaranteed ceiling for annual increases. We are a nonprofit organization. We are well known for managing our community responsibly in terms of fiscal management, but we need to make sure that we can pay our utilities and our food costs and our nurses and provide you with the best quality care.
So we have lots of question about our trails. We have trails all around all 3 campuses, great walking trails. We have maps that we provide of those trails. Question about Wi-Fi, cable, landline. So Wi-Fi is included. You would pay for cable. We do recommend, utilities are included. We do recommend when people move in, because sometimes the cell phone connection is a little bit shaky. So we do recommend that you get a landline when you first move in. And we work with a provider that is very inexpensive, so that you can, see if, and if your cell phone is fine, then you can use that. But just as a precaution, we typically have you have a landline when you first move in.
Question about, is the deposit fully refundable if you decide to leave? I'm not sure if you're talking about leaving the wait list. If you are leaving the wait list, you get everything back except for $500. Do points carry over, the dining points? Yes, they do. And we're going to stop it here because we're at the 1 hour mark. We do have a log of the questions that were not answered, and we will be following up with you, those of you whose questions we did not get to. I want to thank everybody, though, for joining today. I hope you found this was worthwhile use of your time. We have a great webinar coming up in January featuring Ashton Applewhite, who authored this book, This Chair Rocks, a manifesto against ageism. Please join us if this is an interesting topic to you. It sure is to us. She's a really dynamite lady. So thank you all for joining today. And please also check out Seniority Authority, featuring Kathleen Toomey, our Vice President of Marketing. Wonderful podcast that covers all aspects of aging, interviews with leading authors in the field of aging. That is our presentation for today, and we really appreciate you joining us. Have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you.